Live. Let me get to the live here. Where the heck is the live? Is that the live? I forgot to do my... Oh, I didn't, did I?
I thought I sent you a picture of your car.
Hold on, I didn't do it. Wait a second. I didn't share this out. Hold on, I got it. Let me just see. 1 second, guys. I have forgot to do the sharing out. I've been so wrapped up today. Prayer group. I had video that I had to record. Got that up as a premiere. There was another video, shorts, and then one of my editing programs was down for everybody. It was, I've never experienced anything like that. That was crazy. And I know that a lot of people are without power and whatnot. So, hang on. I don't think I put this anywhere. Had a nice prayer group with Rosemary today. Do this one. Nope, this one. Okay, and then I've got to do 2 more. Got talking to Jimmy, and I did my workout before that, and it was like I was all thought I had more time. Time flies when you're having fun, doesn't it? Okay.
I just started an anti-inflammatory diet, and at first I was nervous. I wouldn't have a ton of options, but
where's my share on this? What the freak is... Hi, Bucky Ann. Hi, I'm just going to share this with 2 more places. I don't know where my share button is on this one. That's weird. What happened to it? Oh, it's all the way down here. What the heck? That's weird. How you feeling? There we go on that. And 1 more share. And then I'll be there. Okay, now I'm ready. So yeah, we had ice and snow. No, we thankfully didn't have ice, but I guess North Carolina around Charlotte got really bad ice, and I think we'll look at that, but I think I know there's tens of thousands of people without electricity. We got about 1 foot. What happened? You got 2 feet, you said? Let me see what you say. Just about 2 feet in just having had surgery to clean it up. Oh, 1 foot of snow. Yeah. Came in under your front door. 4 inches of snow inside your house? Wow. But I had moved for the last... But I also We had snow, then ice. You had ice today? Oh, okay. We didn't have ice, thank God. Hi, Star Pixie. We got about a foot of, I think about a foot of snow here, and school's canceled tomorrow already. It's been canceled since early this afternoon. The snow was coming down all day. I'm looking at the spotlight now. I think I still see, yeah, there's still snow coming down, still coming down. Still coming down. I know Linda said she thought it stopped coming down, and then we made her look out and it was like sleeting. So she was still getting some type of precipitation. But like I said, from what I've seen, it looks like Charlotte got a lot of ice or something, has a real bad situation there. And I have this doll is put by the door to block the wind, and the wind blew it in and the snow followed it. Roll, not a doll. That's what I was saying, because Linda was saying something about that. I told her she had to sew herself up one of those with her fabric. Hi, UHP, how are you? Hi 61. It's been snowing there too? Yeah, it's been snowing here all day, all day. Oh, I had to do something. Ouch. My arms are so sore. Let me see here. Let me see. Something real quickly. Real quickly. Okay. All right. So, anyway, just some updates. I put up the, which I thought I put up yesterday. And I did, except I didn't have it listed. The body cam from the au pair trial, the au pair affair trial. Just the body cam I put up. It's under videos. I also put up, we had a premiere of the second part of the online harassment. So I think it's really good because once you understand the patterns, the words that they use, it really gives them no power. It's just like understanding patterns, just like how YouTube was inundated by stuff about narcissism, right? And narcissists, to the point that it was so saturated with narcissistic content that I'm trying to think of another one I was trying to tell somebody, but it just completely saturated. Whereas online cyber harassment, group harassment, and bullying is really needed. So I'm really hoping it helps people. And once you understand it, just like how people now understand, narcissistic things. In fact, they kind of went to call everybody a narcissist, which is wrong too. But once you understand the patterns of this, you'll see it, and you can't unsee it. So and it's also, I'm going to go into some more stuff that's really helped me, and I hope it'll help other targets. Handbrake, yeah, I know, I saw that too. Is about how to deprogram all this stuff, because a lot of times it's manipulative, the things they say, and a lot of people, especially if they're starting on YouTube and their skin may not be as thick and stuff, and it gets in people's heads. It's a group. It's for 7 years, UHP. 7 years and counting. Yeah. The groups don't stop. That's what I'm trying to educate people. So now I've taken the lemons and I'm turning them into lemonade, and I'm creating content. Doesn't have any names, but it's trying to give power to people who could feel maybe powerless in this, because the platforms, even though it's against all the terms of service, it doesn't get addressed well enough. I mean, they are addressing it more. They are taking more reports and looking into things, and that's what you also have to know how to document and report. But then they also try to make you feel, to make targets feel bad for gathering the information they need to have effective reports. And if it gets to the point where there's death threats and everything, people have to know, how to contact law enforcement and what to have. Yeah. So, hey there, Denali. How are you? Did you get hit with snow and ice? But the reason they don't stop is because it's like they're invested in it, and with a lot of them, they've projected what they are or their trauma onto the target, and so they keep going. And if they would stop, they'd lose their status as the hero, the savior. They build themselves up on a moral high horse, and they think they have the right to look at every aspect of our lives and critique everything. But it's not a critique. See, it's harassment, because a critic, just think about a movie critic. Okay, they give their thing, but they don't go after that actor or, that director or whatever relentlessly for years. They give whatever critique there is, or if someone has constructive criticism, that's one thing, but somebody that keeps going day after day after day, creating channels, stealing someone's identity, all of that stuff, that's not critique, that's not criticism. That's nothing but harassment, targeted group harassment. So I'm going to keep making videos on it so that people are aware of these patterns. Okay, now, it's been snowing there for 3 days. Hey, Super Chat Cat, how are you? How's it going? Miss Carolyn, I was subject to this for not selling Hal's code to corporate America, swatting. I got swatted too. Hey, I gave Hal's science to the world for free, and I stand behind my decision. Yeah, we're lucky to be alive after the SWAT that was called on us. But the harassers say it was fake, even though anybody could FOIA the SWAT. But it was fake. And they saw the officers in my home with the long guns, with the SWAT gear. But those were paid actors, crisis actors. They were my sons. They've spun everything every which way you could. Oh yeah, somebody swatted me. Yeah, pretended they were my husband and Allie, and called the New York State Police and said that they were my husband and that he murdered me and our children, and he was in the house, and he was waiting for them, and he was going to kill them upon arrival. Yep. It is messed up. It's really messed up. Not only that, Denali, then another one of them, a woman named Michelle from Rochester, around the Rochester, New York area, called the New York State Police and said I was her best friend and I had threatened to take my own life. Totally false thing. I had to get Scooter on the phone and say, this woman, Michelle, and we know who it is, okay? She was right on the phone with the officer. She was trying to have me involuntarily committed to a psychiatric hold. Okay, that's how far they go. They utilize law enforcement. There were 5 CPS calls falsely on my family. Just to they try to get the person to get off YouTube. That's what they try to do. And they feel that, okay, if we call CPS, then the husband and the family will tell the woman she has to get off YouTube. Well, she didn't know my husband or my family. We don't do that. So we didn't back down. And that's why Tom Petty's I Won't Back Down is our theme song. But they thought we would. And they kept saying, if that was, somebody should get her off YouTube. If that was my wife, I would tell her she had to get off. But that's the whole thing. Then they created channels where the channel description was with my name, saying I was mentally ill and needed to be off YouTube and that I need help. They said I was extremely dangerous and mentally ill. Yeah. Yep. They contacted my sponsors. I've been a blogger for, almost 20 years. A blogger, a vlogger, a social media influencer. Anytime I would do a brand deal, they would go to contact my sponsors, okay? And tweet to them and lie to them. To try to get me to lose the deals. Yeah, it got so bad that then every time I had a brand deal, I had to tell them ahead of time, here are the lists of people that are going to tweet to you. It's terrible. When I did the interviews with authors, I had to do the very same thing because they would do the same things. When we were getting a puppy, they wanted to find out the name of the breeder and call the breeder and tell the breeder terrible lies about us so that we wouldn't get the puppy. Yeah. They called a resort when we were at a resort and lied, said they had an altercation with me in the resort and that I was taking videos and photos of their family. And they asked me not to, and I was belligerent and said, no, I'll do whatever I want, and just this crap to try to get us thrown out of the resort. So now every time I go away somewhere, I have to tell the resort. When they found out we were going to South Carolina, they found our Airbnb. They posted all the pictures of it along with the address on YouTube to try to incite someone to call a SWAT to it. And we had to call the police there. And now we have to call the police every time we go somewhere to let them know. You think that's right? It's not right. It's illegal. We're stalked. Pictures of our cars were taken in front of the house. I was stalked on the beach. And pictures were taken and put on that channel. And then all of my content was stolen off my channel, including content with my minor sons where they were mocked and ridiculed. And we told them to take it down. They would not take it down. And what has the world... Yeah, it's crazy. So... we used the tools YouTube gave us to claim our content. And then they took us to court saying we did that falsely to a federal court. In New York. 2 years. 2 years we had to deal with that nonsense. Okay? Almost $80,000 to defend our content. It just insane. And yet these women, okay, sit in a mob, okay, and they go around YouTube with my picture defaced, okay, putting... That's identity theft, and it's defacing someone's identity. That's a brand, because I am an LLC now. So when they do that, they're defacing my brand. So that is also something that's much different now. But they continue to do this. And no, it's not mostly men. It's women, 100%. Women in their 70s, women in their late 60s. How are they not punished? Well, we just won the court case, okay? After 2 years, and do you know what they said? They denied it. It's in black and white. You can go and read the judge's decision. Now we're fighting to get the money, okay? Because this cost us almost $80,000. And yet they say, oh, no, it didn't. She's lying. Meanwhile, they say, up until the bench trial, they had already spent $80,000. So they can spend $80,000, but our lawyers' fees are not valid, right? And they've spent more. They've probably spent $100,000 now, chasing after, for no reason except vengeance. That was my content. So anyway, we won the court case, and they still lied about it. They said we didn't. They said there was no judgment. It's ridiculous, and that's what I'm trying to show people too. That's another hallmark of these harassers. They deny the truth. If it's in black and white, they'll still deny it, and they'll tell all their followers, and their followers will repeat it over and over and over and over again. It's verbatim. I had one on my channel the other day. I said, why are you over here? And then she's like, oh, because I want to. I said, oh, you still going to say that we didn't, prevail in the court case? Oh, yes, it was dismissed. Nobody won. I said, and this is a woman that allegedly used to work for New York State Social Services or something like that. And she doesn't understand how to read, just blindly believes like a sheep. They can't think for themselves, and they don't want anybody to think for themselves. It's an echo chamber. But the laws have to catch up to what's happening. But by making ourselves an LLC, it's a little different when they use my image and they're, defaming me like that, because now we've crossed over to a brand and different things apply. Plus, I have someone in New York State who's about 2 hours from me that's extremely makes me feel extremely threatened, my whole family, because the things she's writing are not truthful, but they are inciting so much hate. And with the proximity of her to me, and the other day she wrote something that said, I'm just a couple of steps behind you, but I've been known to miss a few steps. You're also yeah, smart move, UHP, yeah. Well, after they sat around here and kept telling me they were going to get my house and this and that, and, no, my assets are protected now. Yeah, I heard you say that, Bucky, and I listened to that video about 2 months ago when she made it right before Christmas or right before Thanksgiving from the resin stuff. I know. And enough people, and I'm hoping by tagging YouTube creators that anybody else that is harassed on YouTube, please come talk to me. If you're a creator, if you're a YouTube creator and you're going through this, and I know a lot of you are, and we've got to start really blowing the whistle on it. We have to start letting people know this is not you know, little tit for tat drama. This is real life, real life, real life stuff. These people are relentless. They won't stop. They go real life. Nobody is off limits. My children have been attacked. My grief has been attacked. And I'm tired of it. And I know there's other creators that have tired of it, and it could have had our family killed. Hey there, you're gonna lurk, Slam? Okay, Lurky. I've been on YouTube for a while. I don't watch every night, but would it be an advantage of having a license if you're... Oh, what would be the advantage of having an LLC? It protects my personal assets, my house, you know, my property. It protects my personal assets. So that's very important. But yeah, it's nuts. But I hope that with more of those videos and you know, getting them out there and to other creators, that we can be stronger in numbers and call some real attention to this. Hi, Sassy. So that's what that's, so I hope that you guys really take time to watch those videos. If you share those videos, that would be great. I'm going to be making more, like I said, and it's just going to go into each one just a little, in some subsections that really, because once the patterns, that's what it is. Once you can identify it, you know what it is. It doesn't have its power. Okay? That you know why they're doing what they're doing. And anybody can see the amount of time and energy and the novels these people write, that they think they know my life, or they think they're entitled to watch a live stream and analyze my every single move, every single word, and then twist it and turn it, and it's not right. It's not okay. Surveillance behavior, and that is stalking, and it is stalking, and it's especially heinous when someone lives in the same state as you, and they're just a couple of hours away, saying things that are completely false, and not saying, I think, I feel, no, they're stating as fact. I hope you had a great night. You're a terrific content creator, and never imagine anyone wanting to cause any disrespect. Yeah, I know, Denali, but it's there's a lot of great content creators that are targeted like this, and it's sad. But it's relentless. So this has been something that's really helped me, and I want to help others. Oh, and they say I edit things when live. Yeah, they'll lie about something in a video, and then somebody goes to watch it, says it's not there, and they say I edit it when you can't edit a live video without losing the live chat. Okay, but they lie about that. They lie about everything. They lie about everything. And they will choose to go after whoever it is to get a reaction out of the person. So that means posting their minor children and saying stuff, and talking about their deceased children, lying about their deceased children, saying they're still laughing the day your child died. You imagine that? You imagine these sweeties, these sweet grandmas? How do you post something like that? How do you even post something like that? And then they fool around with this karma language. How do you post something like that? And how do you post something like that? You're still laughing at the day someone's child died? You're laughing at it? Give me a freaking break. Something's wrong. You unleashed all the codes at Zabaware on them, all 3,500 of them. They learned real quick that they made a bad mistake. Oh, wow. You're messing with Cyber Jedi. Whoops. Oh, maybe Cyber Jedi can spread what's going on and how to identify it and what to do about it. Because that's the only thing. You can't, like, people have wasted time, like, thinking, like, okay, well, if I show them they're wrong in this thing, and then they'll know they're wrong. But no, it doesn't matter. You've seen some of the shorts, and they are vile. Straight up bullying. Yeah, I don't watch them super chat, but I have heard people say they are disgusting. I won't watch them. I won't poison my mind with them. It says way more about those people. Like, how could anybody believe that someone creates that? And you're telling me it's vile. I have other people telling me it's vile. So how do you create that? And you want people to think I'm the problem. Right? Once you understand that it says way more about them, once you understand the patterns, really, it just, like, it's almost to the point that they're helping expose themselves by going nasty. They are. They're helping the target who's being harassed because they're getting so nasty to try to get a reaction from the target. But what it's showing is how bad they are. And they don't get it. They have no self-awareness. So, in a way, Super Chat, the more vile those are, the more it helps a case. And I don't have to watch them. I have other people that collect that stuff, and I don't want to be bothered with it. But I know the patterns. So it doesn't, like, once you learn it, it's just empowering. Because it's predictable, you know what they're doing, and it's, once you have a label for it and you know what it is, it loses, you know, it's almost, gets to the point it's so predictable, it looks completely amateurish, but most of the stuff they do is at a high school, elementary level. That's the type of bullying, and it's done by 60, 70-year-old women. So, you know, it's okay. I know I have a great faith in God. God has seen me through. I never could have gotten through this without God. And I know God will see me through this. Carolyn, I can help in a big way. I will. Yeah, I'd like to hear how you could help. That would be great, UHP. Hi, I've been there for you. Frustrated. Oh, go get some rest. Go get some rest, Denise. It's fine. It's fine, honey. Go get some rest. Love you. But yeah, it's crazy, you know? And you know what the craziest thing is? I'll tell you what's like beyond crazy. I get their narrative goes to say things about me that I said, that I've made up, that are not real. And yet the very people that are there now sitting together, because like they claim, oh my gosh, that I said this terrible thing about a fire and how it started, and excuse me? Excuse me? No, that wasn't me. That wasn't me. That's the very person you're sitting with that did that. And I have the screenshot of where she sent me the news article of how the fire department said how the fire started and told me that I should read it on a live, which I didn't do. But the woman that's harassing me says that's one of the things that she's attacking me for, and I didn't even do it, yet one of her best friends, who she knows, I mean, the woman knows she did it. This is how deceptive they are. And I've got the freaking screenshots of where she sent it to me. Okay? Make that make sense. You can't. You can't. It's just, it's laughable, really. It really is. It's like, I don't know whether, like, I know the person that sent it to me knows she did it. Now, if that other person is clueless on that, that's really a kicker. But I know there's other people there that know the one that sent that and the vile things that woman put up that she deleted. But there's been screenshots of them, and I mean vile, nasty, vile stuff, okay? Horrific, that never happened. It's just disgusting. There's a website I can point you to. It has all the tools you would need. Okay. Yeah, I'll have to look at that later. I'm not sure what that is. But yeah, I mean, there's the laws on our side too, because the more intense their behavior becomes, like the surveillance and the stalking and the taking pictures, how, like, all of that documented, shows a pattern. Yeah. But yeah, you know, it's you got to protect yourself. And I want to help other people, because I know how alone, like, that's their goal. Their goal is to work behind the scenes and triangulate. They'll call out to your friends, these people, and they'll tell your friend, like, they'll inflate something. So if I say, like, just like I said, goodnight to Denise, a tactic of theirs, right, is to say, did you hear the way Carolyn said goodnight to Denise? I think it was so rude. It was. Denise, come over here, Denise. We want you to come over here. You know, you're not being treated right over there. Come on, everybody's going to leave there. We're contacting people behind the scenes. They're all going to leave. You want to come over here. Well, if you had a really good group, you wouldn't have to recruit people by trying to triangulate, you know, someone's group. You would have people that want to be there. You wouldn't have to call out to them. You wouldn't have to go behind the scenes, and you wouldn't have to go triangulate people. But they do it over and over and over again. And I've seen the messages. Yes, I have, because the people have brought them to me. So And then the other ones, they do blatantly. They call out. They've called out to Linda. They've called out to Bucky. They've called out to Denise. They've called out to Evie. They've given up on Scooter. Hello, Scooter. They've given up on Scooter finally. She's just as bad as me. She's a bad one. She might even be worse. You know, I don't know. But they've given up on her. But anybody new, they'll tag in novellas of no punctuation, streaming craziness, lies like crazy, just to try to stop anybody in our community. They go after Patreons, they go after members. Yeah. They go on Reddits, okay, and make groups. They had a Facebook group that targeted my children. That was taken down. But yeah, this is the kind of stuff they do. This kind of stuff. Sweethearts. Sweetie grannies. What a nice granny. Wouldn't you like a granny like that? Wouldn't you be so proud if that was your grandma? What are you doing, Grandma? Wow. Look at you, Grandma. What a great role models. Great role models. Seriously. You know, you think that they would want to be a better person for grandchildren. Grandmothers that manipulate pictures, that, you know, they're not secure in who they are. You know, it's like, maybe work on yourself. Maybe get help. Instead of telling everybody else needs help, maybe look inward. But I can do my part by helping people recognize the signs. Because once you see it, and you see it again, and you see it again, and you put a name to it, and you know what it is, it loses its impact. And so now I want to educate all of you, so when you see it, and when they contact you, and when you're triangulated, and when you're part of that, you're going to be like, come on. Carolyn, this story makes my blood boil, I say. UHP. Mr. Electric is getting angry. His blood is boiling. But yeah, it's our family has been put through our family, people in this community, just been put through a hell. But we didn't back down. We didn't back down. And we won't. We go forward. And I know God is going to bring this around. I know He is. He's going to give me the tools. I know, like, faith without works. So I'm working to do my part. I'm always trying to do my part. Now I feel that this educational stuff is my part to get that out. And maybe running across, great people, and then other creators, because I know there's other creators on here that are embroiled in things like this. I know there's someone in the home building. I know there's someone in the RV community, and then I know there's someone in the resin community. So I know there's other people that have been like really, really badly targeted, unjustly, and it's sad because their whole thing is, if all of us are saying it, how it's got to be true, that's their proof of stuff. And That is such a fallacy. Okay? I could get 1,000 people on my lawn tomorrow to say we're in Kansas. It doesn't make it true because we're still in New York. So once you start realizing and you don't accept their proof, when they say, if all of us are saying it's got to be true, you back them, you say no. No, it doesn't have to be. So where's your proof? Where is it? Oh, well, where's your proof? And, oh, well, you don't have to take my word for it. You can go look yourself. That's another one they use. No. I want you to show it to me. And then do your own research, too. Really. Because they count on people not to do research. They count on people to just believe them. They play mind games, manipulation. They call out to people, oh, she's treating you terribly. Meanwhile, they're screaming at people on their panel, cursing at people on their panel. And the hypocrisy is only seen by like a handful. They leave, they sweep it under the rug about the ones that left, and everybody else has to stay on board because they keep saying, don't let her win. Don't let her win. She said we're all hate bonding and we're all going to turn on each other. We can't let her win. So they have this thing that they're just trying to hold it together because they don't want to show that I'm right, that they don't like each other, that they are turning on each other. So they all just sweep everything that happens under the rug. Okay? And they don't get upset about them cursing people out on their panel, but then if I say something like good night the wrong way, or maybe not loud enough, or they will go on for 7 hours. Did you hear the way Carolyn said good night to Denise? Wow, that's so rude. It's so rude. And then they'll be like, shut the F up, blah, blah, blah. Okay, yeah, so it's so rude. But nobody says anything when, screaming to shut the F up. Yeah. Anyway, let's take a look at what's going on in the snow. We got about a foot of snow. How much snow did you get, Scooter? School's canceled tomorrow. And we had a nice prayer group with Rosemarie today. And those of you that don't know, Rosemarie D'Alessandro is the sweetest woman. She lost her 7-year-old daughter a few towns of where I grew up. Okay, and Joan, her daughter, was a few years older than me, but she was the reason that as Brownie Girl Scouts, we had like special books by our chief of police brought to our first grade classroom because Joan D'Alessandro was murdered by the science teacher, high school teacher that lived just a couple of doors down in a very nice suburban northern New Jersey town where kids would play and go door to door. And she was brutally murdered on Holy Thursday. And her body was found on Easter Sunday. And it was under a rock in the state park. And so having grown up with that, and then many years later, when I came here, I asked people if they knew about this, and no one knew about this. So I made a video. And then her mom contacted me, Rosemarie, and she wanted to thank me, and she wanted to do an interview. We did a beautiful interview. It was a 2-part interview. And then since then, her and I have been very good friends, and we did some grief panels. She's come up on other stuff, and she has a prayer group every month. And so it's very nice, and we go to that. So we had that today. And it's like, it's all she's Catholic, but it's all denominations. You can go. Anybody can go. We have Jewish people go. We have, non-Catholic people. It's fine. It's, it's a very nice thing. You got it all too? What did you get? Snow and ice. School was closed Friday and tomorrow too. I don't know how much snow, but it's so cold and icy. And we got snow. I think we missed the ice, thank goodness. Hi, One Eye Blind Arts. So we had a nice prayer group today, and what was I going to say? And I was just glad everybody had electricity, because when they told me, I'm like, oh yeah, I hope everybody's going to have electricity. And how are you doing, One Eye? And I know that what was I going to say? You're in Wisconsin, right? How cold is it in Wisconsin, One Eye? How much snow did you get? Gia got the viral ice creams. I didn't know they were viral ice creams. Those, did you see them, Scooter? The viral ice cream? She got mango. She said, we've got to try the viral ice cream for the channel. Okay. I'm like, she's like, yes, it's on TikTok. I'm wondering how much One Eye got. I've been struggling, not too much snow. You didn't have too much snow? Hey, One Eye, did you ever get that, the medallion I sent you? Tell me you got it, please. Did you get it? The religious saint medallion? Oh, yeah, UHP? Utter cold. I really hope you got it, One Eye. Oh, you did? Okay, good. Because I sent it in. Okay, I sent it a while ago. Okay, that's good. Oh, you're welcome. I just want to make sure that you got it. But there was a woman that was found at the end of a 75-foot ravine in November, 58 years old. And her estranged husband was just arrested for her murder. And then I've just been going through some heavy-hearted stuff. What's going on, like with your health or with your life? Sorry to hear that. Life in general? Yeah, it's been hard. There's a lot of people that have had some bouts of depression and Shar passed. Now, who was Shar? Was that your ex? Oh, your ex-fiance. Sorry to hear that. Was she sick? Or was it something sudden? It's hard either way. Oh, okay. Yeah, I remember. I was wondering, yeah. Yeah, there's. She found out too late. She had leukemia. Oh, that's too bad. Yeah, There's a lot of people. I don't know. The whole world and everything has put a lot of people in a big state of depression, and it's the winter, like, which does get seasonal depression on people, and it's a lot of people have gone through a lot of stuff. That's yeah, we have Scooter, and then if you add loss and stuff to that, and yeah, I mean, it's a lot. I know a lot of people are just not feeling okay, you know? It gets hard. The holidays are hard. Holidays are hard when you've lost people. Um, as much as you enjoy them for other people, there's always something missing, right? Money is hard for a lot of people. You know, our everything costs more. It's just crazy. It's trying to keep me out of the hospital. Well, if you have to go to the hospital, you know, don't, I mean, if your therapist thinks you should go, maybe, you know, it could help. I don't know. You know, I'm just saying. I'm glad you have a therapist, and you know, listen, if they really think that you need to go, take them up on it. I know it's like, but I don't know if you get seasonal depression too, because that could be like a double whammy. And now so many people who are like, I know we haven't been snowed in that long, but some people like even a day and they're going crazy if they can't get out or something, you know. It really, you have home care coming in 5 days a week. Well, that's good. At least you have that interaction. And how's your artwork? Does your artwork help you? I know it does me when I sit down and I create, like when I do the watercolor or stuff. When I finally, sometimes you don't have the motivation and the drive if you're feeling depressed to even go and do it. But then when you do it, I don't know, it always helps me. Very important now, especially since you had a heart attack. Oh, yeah, that's right. Oh, I've been on TikTok. Did you say TikTok? Is that TikTok? I've been on. I don't know if that's what you're trying to say. Do you have a channel over there now that you do it on? Oh, are you doing your art over there? That's great. I'll have to check it out. That's great. Wonderful. That's great. That must help, right? Yeah, it does. I think it does. It's an expression of, I don't know, a lot of people have helps them a lot. Yeah, okay, I'll check you out over there. But, yeah, and I mean, some people say, journaling. But I don't know if that may not be something you like, but if you do like to, a lot of people find comfort in that. I'm going to get back to my art once I'm healed. Yeah, yeah. You might, I think if you just keep following my, I think if you just keep following my tutorials, Bucky, you should be able to paint almost like I do. I think so. Don't lose heart. Just keep following. I feel like so. I feel like so, but I can't, Carolyn. You feel like. Oh, you feel like sobbing, but you can't? Sometimes when people, I don't know, reads, like there's certain things, like maybe reading something. Yeah, don't lose hope, Bucky, okay? I can give you a few pointers when you're feeling better, Bucky. That's what you're getting. Sometimes, you know what? Sometimes, I'll tell you something. I remember in 2017, I was listening to Ed Sheeran's Supermarket Flowers. I had never heard it. I think I had downloaded a CD or something, right? And Supermarket Flowers. And I am telling you, I was alone at my parents' house, and I think I cried for 2 hours straight, Nelson, listening to that song over and over. It hit me. I could not listen to that song without, and I mean, I was sobbing. And it was for my parents. And I was at their house by myself in the winter, and I don't know, I put it on. Oh yeah, that's what it was. Someone had posted it, I think, on Facebook or something, and I just listened to it. And sometimes Supermarket Flowers by Ed Sheeran. But sometimes that can help. I don't know if there's songs, or sometimes reading something can, I mean, if you're looking to have a good cry or something, I don't know. Well, I know you don't like hurting, but you said you're sobbing and you can't. I don't know. If I'm saying sometimes, I don't know if you, but I'm just saying. But, nobody likes hurting. So it's just as bad as admitting I have pain. Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. You don't have to cover your grief or your depression, or you can talk about it. And we are in pain, and it is painful. And a lot of times I know, like, especially as mothers and stuff, and you don't want to burden anybody with anything. Oh, I'm fine, I'm fine. When you're not really fine, right? When you're not really fine. But, so that's why like grief groups and stuff are great. And then I think we're going to have some more grief panels because those really helped a lot of people in the past. And I think a lot of people feeling really low and depressed, I think we should do that again. Yeah, you wear it, but you don't have to wear, you don't have to be stoic and that you're okay when you're not okay. It's okay not to be okay. And I know sometimes you're just like, it's just a feeling. You feel off, you feel sad, you know, and we have things to be sad about, a lot of things to be real sad about. But sometimes it gets really bad. Really, really bad. But sometimes when you talk about it and you find out you're not alone and, you know, other people. Yeah, it is, because we're conditioned. How are you? Fine. Good. Yep, good. I'm fine. Everything's good. Great. Doing well. Right? We lie to ourselves. We lie to other people about how we feel. And it's okay not to be okay. You know, there's a lot of, that's why I've started to put up those shorts, and they've really resonated with a lot of people. They really like those, and I want to put little inspirational ones. Sometimes I just little ones that let you know you're not alone, you know, and that it's okay. It's just a little thing like that can make someone just feel like not alone. Music is another thing, and music can work in both ways. Sometimes something can be triggering to be really, really sad, or something can be really, really uplifting. Yeah. And sometimes even your family members don't know how to deal with it. You know what I mean? You can have some family members that want to talk all the time about it, while some others think, oh, it's best not to mention it to you, and like they don't know. And you got to tell them. They used to always be my word fine. I always said I was done no matter what I was feeling. Now I tell the truth. I don't always have to be fine. Yeah. No, you don't. And there's a lot of, like, thankfully today, there's a lot of videos. There's a lot of people, if you search grief and stuff, that talk about their grief and make you not feel so alone. Because a lot of times in your real life, you might not know a lot of people that are experiencing something you are. But thanks to the internet, you can usually find someone that's talking about that very thing. And that can be helpful. Just connecting up with people, or listening to somebody talk about it. I mean, there's like, right? I told Scooter, was watching some lady about estranged parents. And I'm like, are you watching this lady? Because this lady's coming up in my feed. But then I was just on Instagram and I just saw this woman talk. So like, and probably I would say there was a people that there was a great shame of that and they didn't have that. Now there's groups for that. There's groups for grief. There's groups for divorced people. There's groups for people that want to be single. There's groups for people that are OCD, you know, like, I mean, just about anything between, you know, TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, Facebook. I told you I'm in a group for people that talk about chicken parmesan in New Jersey, thanks to my brother. Okay, so if there's a group for that, there's a group for everything. Miss Carolyn, I just got off the phone. I'll go to Guy. Yeah, I don't know. I don't want to threaten anyone. So, you know, I'm going to go the right way, you know. I don't want to get down. I don't want to go down in the dirt with pigs or in the mud with swine, you know. There's a lot of legal and law enforcement ways to deal, you know. And that's why documentation is really important. You're feeling threatened. Take it there. But you want to talk about that that woman in California and find out. And then I have this woman almost sounded like J-Bell. She pretended she had cancer. She pretended she was pregnant, but then she was going to have a conspiracy to murder her lover's wife. So then I knew that was not. And so let's see what we got there. Where's my thing here? I think I'll do the woman in the ravine first. She was 58 years old. And let's see. Now, where'd you go? Where did you go? What they're talking about, Mama Cass's autopsy. And I know we've talked about that before. I'm telling you, I think there's like, I don't know if people think there's a lack of news, but I've just found like so much stuff that's and now my okay, here we go. Let's see. Alrighty. So he was actually a UHP. He was a tech founder. He was arrested in connection with the murder of his estranged wife, who was found at the bottom of a 75-foot cliff. And let's see, let me get her picture up here. Let's see. She was 58 years old, like I said. Here we go. Here we go. So, San Bernardino County deputy stated that the coroner determined that get her. Hang on one second. My thing just went crazy on me. Her name is Aryan Papoli, 58 years old, of Newport Beach, and her body was discovered 75 feet down an embankment in Crestline on November 18th. And she was, her body wasn't identified for 2 weeks. And this was the sketch they put out. Hold on, let me get this. This was the sketch they put out to try to find out who she was. Go on over there now. Where'd you go? There you go. Let me make this a little smaller. Jane Doe. She was Jane Doe when they found her. They didn't know who she was. And they were able to get her identity. Let me see here. She grew up in Iran and moved to the United States with her family at the age of 18. And then she met her husband. Her husband, let me put him up here. He's a tech founder, and he was 66. Gordon Goodarzi, 66. You gonna go over there? Let's see. There we go. And so let me see what age she met him. That's a picture of them back about 10 years ago in 2016. They were estranged from each other, and there's this thing here. Get out of here. So he's been arrested in connection with her murder. He was arrested Friday in the wealthy Rolling Hills Estates. Not rolling in the Chips Hills, but Rolling Hills. It's an enclave. And he was arrested for his estranged wife's murder. Her body was discovered again 75 feet down the embankment. Wasn't identified for 2 weeks. The coroner determined that Papoli was murdered, and she died from the plunge. Goodarzi was taken to the Central Detention Center. He's currently being held without bail. He is a research affiliate of UCLA, which touted decades of experience with electric vehicles. The couple has 2 sons, Navid and Milad. They bought a 5-bedroom home in Rolling Hills Estate in 2017, which they still owned at the time of her death. And Navid said that his mother came to the United States from Iran as a young woman. She built a new life for herself and worked to improve the lives of others. She moved to Newport Beach 6 months before her death, seeking a serene place to thrive creatively after retiring from corporate life. She wrote an article for Stroll Mag about her heritage and family dynamics. And quotes of that say, being Iranian American, we cherish the blending of 2 cultures, and we find great joy in celebrating both our Persian roots and the traditions that come with being part of an American family. Another tradition that's incredibly important is our Sunday family meals. No matter what the week brings, we always come together on Sundays to cook and share a meal. Well, now this guy is arrested for her murder, and so that took a few months there, right? I wonder how they had to connect the dots on that one. They haven't put out too much information about how they connected the dots back to him, but they did. A wealthy tech industry engineer. Okay. All right. And sad and why he has to do that, I don't know. Like they were going to get away with it, right? Yeah. Not so much. Let me get to my other one that I thought sounded vaguely like J-Bells, but then didn't look like J-Bells. And as far as I know, J-Bells wasn't plotting the death of her lover's, wife. So let me get that up here. Okay, here we go. Donna Trapani. That's who we're talking about. Donna Trapani. She was desperate to start a life with her lover, George Fulton. That is so weird because our surveyor's name was George Fulton, but even if it meant killing his wife. So let's take a look at what she did, okay? Let me get her stuff up here. So this is George and his wife, Gail. And Donna Trapani, she wanted to get her man, but he was already married to someone else, but that wasn't going to stop her. She went through desperate measures. These measures included faking cancer as well as a pregnancy to win the love of George Fulton, a former military man. Donna's scheming culminated in the death of George's wife, Gail Fulton, the woman you see there. Gail was a mother of three and a librarian, and she was gunned down on October 4th, 1999 in a parking lot of Lake Orion, Michigan Library, just minutes after the 48-year-old woman left work. Do you know about this, Scooter? Isn't this by you? This was a love triangle, and those that knew Gail said she was kind and loving and committed to her family and her Catholic faith. She had a friend, Sylvia Morales, who said she was brilliant, very smart. She could do anything that she wanted to do. During Gail's senior year of high school in Corpus Christi, Texas, that's where she met George. She was volunteering at the time with a Catholic youth organization. The pair went to two different colleges, but they reconnected and they got married in 1975. George was starting a military career, and together they traveled with his military assignments, and they had 3 children along the way. By 1993, 6 years before her murder, George was ready to retire after 18 years in the military, so he moved the family back to Corpus Christi. Then they decided to move again because George, I guess, didn't want to fully retire. He got a job in insurance sales, and so they moved to Lake Orion, Michigan. Now, it seemed that the family was going to settle there and stay put for a while. So Gail decided to go to work as a librarian. Now, on October 4th, she was leaving the library after her shift and she drove away. But then she went back because something was wrong with her car. She was having car trouble. And according to the someone from the Oakland County Sheriff's Department, who says that Gail's tire was slashed. So, yeah, she had car trouble for sure. But deputy from the sheriff's office said that raised even more concern that this was a targeted thing, right? And the surveillance footage captured Gail going back into the parking lot, and as she did, another car pulled up. Someone got out of that other car, and they opened fire and shot Gail 3 times. The shooter and 2 other people were in that car. And Sylvia Morales, Gail's friend, said, and I quote, "For me, it was like part of my heart was ripped out. To be shot and killed like that, execution style, for a little tiny woman that would never expect anything bad to happen to her, it's unbelievable to me." Now, Gail's husband, George, and son, Andrew, arrived at the library, and they were given the devastating news that she had been shot execution style and wasn't alive. However, Michael Bouchard from the sheriff's office again noted that the husband didn't seem to be very emotional about the situation. Oftentimes, when there's a death, you look at the spouse as the first place to go. So George and his son were taken to the station and they were interviewed separately. George told investigators that he had no problems with his relationship with Gail, with his marriage, and the son told investigators that his dad was having an affair. So after they came back to George and told him what the son had said, George admitted to having an affair with Donna, a businesswoman in Florida, that he said he met several years earlier at a hotel bar. As the affair got underway, Donna arranged to hire George's company to give him an excuse so that he could make frequent trips to Florida. So the Oakland County Sheriff's Detective, Sergeant Bill Harvey, said she had a medical care company, Donna did. And she decided to hire the insurance company that George had to take care of their paperwork, their finances, taxes, and everything else. At the time that Gail was murdered, George told the authorities that he'd been at home on the phone with Donna. Right? How could she have been on the phone with her? Investigators later reached out and confirmed that she was in Florida when the shooting took place, which gave her its seemingly good alibi, right? George told police that 6 months earlier he had tried to end the affair, but Donna told him she was pregnant with his child and dying of cancer. Gail's daughter, Emily, told police that just 3 months before Gail died, George arranged a meeting between the 2 women where Donna begged Gail to divorce George so she could spend the final remaining months with him. And then asked Gail, please help George raise the baby after her death. It's crazy. Wow. Then the daughter said, Donna wanted to speak to my mother by herself. And so Donna and Gail were in a room alone together, and Donna said, this won't end until one of us is dead. Gail was heartbroken. She refused that arrangement, and George decided to stay with his wife, hoping to make the marriage work. Emily said that her mother never brought it up again. That's something. You never going to bring that up again? She said, I know it may sound weird, but we just went about our lives and it never got discussed again. How the heck? There's a lot that goes on in there. I think a lot has to do with her faith, like that when you're a Catholic, you don't get divorced, you're married for life. Through analysis of that surveillance footage, investigators determined that the suspect's vehicle had a newer Malibu 4-door car with a broken taillight. Investigators received a tip from a man in Florida who claimed he'd been in contact by an ex-girlfriend, Sybil, Paget, and her new boyfriend, Patrick Alexander, about carrying out a hit in Michigan. The tipster refused the job, but it gave detectives a new direction. Yeah, did she hire someone, right? Investigators were not only able to link Sybil to a Chevy Malibu with a broken taillight, but they also learned that she worked for Donna. Uh-oh, Sybil. After she was brought in for questioning, Sybil admitted that she was approached by Donna to find someone to carry out a hit. She said that Donna had threatened to turn her in for smoking pot if she didn't cooperate, and she felt pressured. So let's listen to that, right? Sybil feels pressured. She might get in trouble for smoking pot, so she better go commit a murder, right? Yeah, that Sybil, that's making a lot of sense, honey. That's making a lot of sense. Oh my gosh. Okay. Feeling pressured, Sybil and Patrick recruited a truck driver, Kevin Owlett, to serve as the trigger man. Police searched Sybil's house and they found a map to Michigan, and it had all 4 suspects' fingerprints on it, and it had news articles about Gail's death. Donna initially tried to pin the shooting on Sybil and Patrick, insisting they acted alone, but investigators didn't buy that story because they found out that Donna was lying about the cancer and the pregnancy. If anything else was proven, it was proven that she had a manipulative personality and she was an effective liar. And this is Donna. This is Donna Trapani. Come on, Donna. Go on over there. Get over there. So they searched Donna's home, and they found a picture of Gail, and they found Gail's address and work schedule, and they found a note for when someone takes their own life, but it was written by Donna, who was pretending to be Gail, and it said that Gail realized that Donna was truly in love with George and deserved to be with him. So they said she was the puppet master in all of this. And then all 4 suspects were arrested. But detectives said that George could not have been involved in this plot, and he was never charged. Patrick and Kevin pled guilty and agreed to testify against their co-defendants, and Sybil and Donna were found guilty. So Sybil, you were worried about the pot. Now you've been found guilty of murder, hon. Sybil and Donna were found guilty of premeditated first-degree murder. That was really good that you did that because you were so pressured by the pot. And conspiracy to commit murder at trial. Donna, Sybil, and Kevin all received sentences of life in prison without the possibility of parole, while Patrick received 40 years in prison for the crime. Now, guess what, though? There is a little silver lining. Emily, the daughter of Gail, is now a life coach and a public speaker, and she honors her mother's legacy by trying to help others by saying, and I quote, "I think it's important for other women to see just how easily someone can be broken down in an abusive marriage. Mental, emotional abuse doesn't look obvious. It's these hidden scars that no one can see, but it's inside of you." Okay, so yeah, that's a crazy, crazy thing, huh? Let me go back to the chat here. Where the heck are you guys? I think you're here. Let me see. No, that's not you. Where did you go? Where'd you go, Joe? There you are. Okay. Hi, Chrissy. Hi, White Angel. You had a Malibu in the 90s? You had one too, Scooter? Everybody's talking about the Malibu? Okay. That's great. Let me go see what the, I'm going to try to get some snow totals here now. Hang on for me to get those. We're going to see, because that's my third thing we're going to talk about. And I know there's ice in Charlotte. So let me grab and see what we've got on the snow now. Snow and ice. Snow and ice totals. Well, I don't think we can have totals because it's still snowing over here, but we'll see. We'll see what we have. Okay, let's see what we got. Deadly winter storm blasts with catastrophic ice and extreme snow. So let's see who got what. Who got what? Heavy snow, sleet, and freezing rain are slamming large parts of the United States as the dangerously cold weather causes major power outages and travel disruptions. Okay, let's see if we can get something here. Okay, how about we get a graphic up there so we know we're talking about something different, right? See what we've got. Get something good here. Come on, baby. All right, let's look at this. This is in Mississippi. Get over there. Get over there. Okay, that is that ice, huh? Who would have thought? Mississippi, right? Oh, here's another picture of it. Come on, get over there. Wow. And then there's their roads. This is in Winona, Mississippi. They had down power lines. Ooh. Here's another one. Winona, Mississippi. Winona, Mississippi. Okay, Winona, wouldn't it be funny if Winona, Jordan, Winona, but it's not spelled like that, guys. Come on, stop it. Just stop it now. Hold on, I'm going to tell you. I'm going to get back and I'm going to tell you what happened there. Because the poor woman whose car was in it, she said she was looking for a hotel and it just didn't work out. Let's see. Okay. Jasmine Guess. She lives in you know what? She lives in Winona, Mississippi, and is surrounded by downed trees and power lines blocking the road. She said her power's been out for 18 hours, and she'd been looking for a hotel to go to, just in case. She said the roads had to stay clear, and they made preparations, and they're holding up fine. Her property's full of trees. And then one of those trees fell on her vehicle. Okay, now the Charlotte area transit system has suspended all transportation. That was today, Sunday, with service expected to start 10 a.m. local time tomorrow, Monday. A total of 1,018,477 customers are without power across the United States. Tennessee, Mississippi, and Louisiana are currently experiencing the most outages. And they also have the highest ice reports at this time. Yeah, because it's always the ice. It's the ice that takes that stuff, right? Ice buildup on power lines and tree limbs can add weight that eventually pulls the lines down, causing those power outages. So in Tennessee, there's 306,722 people without power. In Mississippi, there's 175,276 people without power. In Louisiana, 145,105 without. Texas has 93,039 without power. Georgia has 80,748 without power. Kentucky, 69,461. West Virginia, 35,519. And Alabama, 31,760. There is a Coast Guard that's assisting a 650-foot ship stuck in Lake Michigan on ice. Oh my goodness. What in the world is going on here? Let me see this. Did you know about this scooter? That doesn't look like 650 feet. 650 feet. I'm sorry. That doesn't look like 650 feet. It looks maybe like, to me it looks like less than 200 feet. That's crazy. Look at that. That's crazy. The ice doesn't even look thick, right? So weird. Okay. Anyway. Outages in Nashville, Tennessee could last days or longer. Dallas power grid is holding up, but the highways remain dangerously icy. Let's see what else we have here. All flights canceled at Ronald Reagan Airport. The Texas power grid is being put to the test this weekend. Two men died of hypothermia in Louisiana. In Caddo Parish, Louisiana. Almost half of the United States is under a state of emergency amid the snowstorm. New York City public schools implement remote learning on Monday. New York City activated warming centers in all 5 boroughs. New Yorkers who need to warm up can find locations on the NYC 311 website. Rhode Island's governor has announced a truck travel ban. It's going to begin beyond noon today and remains in place until further notice. A body of a missing teenager was found in Ann Arbor, Michigan, amid extreme cold conditions. The 19-year-old was last seen at 1 a.m. on Friday walking alone without a coat. He was reported missing approximately 15 hours later. Cause of death is yet to be determined. There's no obvious signs of trauma or foul play. Power outages continue to climb. Here's a car stuck in Little Rock, Arkansas. Okay, so let me go up to the most recent, okay? I was giving you a recap of everything. Let's go to the most recent, okay? Here's the latest. Roughly 185 million people are under winter alerts. Dangerous cold is gripping much of the central and eastern United States. Wind chills in some of the areas are as low as -20 and -30s, and temperatures are 10 to 40 degrees below average. The weather has been blamed for the deaths of 7 people, 3 in Tennessee, 2 in Louisiana, 1 in Texas, 1 in Kansas. In areas affected by the storm, more than 860,000 customers are without power. Freezing rain was falling in parts of Georgia, through the Carolinas, and the Mid-Atlantic region, with heavy snow throughout the Ohio Valley and the Northeast. Nearly 17 inches of snow has fallen on parts of Ohio. The most persistent snow will target parts of New England through tomorrow night. Snowfalls and totals of 16 to 24 inches will be possible in Boston and Albany. New York, Hartford, Connecticut, and Portland, Maine could get as much as 12 to 18 inches. Spotlight, Jimmy shut it off, so I can't tell you if it's still coming down. We have 16 degrees here on the computer. Conditions will gradually improve this week, though the snow and the bitter cold may linger. The snow has also hampered air travel, with more than 12,000 scheduled flights being canceled and another 3,000 tomorrow. Okay, so let's see what we got here. 2 ranchers in the Dallas-Fort Worth area stepped into freezing water to rescue a cow. They put a container over the animal's head and led it to shore with a rope. The cow appeared to make it safely to solid ground. Tennessee has reported 3 weather-related deaths as the winter blast continues. 1 person died in Crockett, another in Haywood, and a third in Obion. A woman died after a snowplow truck strikes her and her husband in Massachusetts. A 51-year-old woman and a 47-year-old man were walking through the parking lot of the Massachusetts Bay Transportation Authority commuter rail Norwood Central Station around 2 p.m. today when they were hit by a Ford F-350 plow truck that was driving in reverse. Oh my goodness. The woman died of her injuries and the man was taken to a hospital for non-life-threatening injuries. The truck was being driven by a non-MBTA employee contracted by a private company for snow removal, the department said. The plow operator, who was 33, was cooperative. The incident is under investigation. This is an unimaginable, horrific incident, police said. On behalf of the transit police and the entire MBTA organization, we express our most sincere condolences to the victim's family and friends. Our thoughts and prayers are with them. That's terrible. Central Park experienced the largest snowstorm since 2021. What is this? There was snow pileup on a Manhattan platform. What is this here? Greensburg, Indiana. They had to rescue a driver from a car that had been buried in the accumulation. The driver was the only occupant. Wow, look at that. That's in Greensboro? Greensburg. I think you guys are all up to date there. Now let me see here. Hold on, where the heck are you guys? I keep going. I don't know what I'm doing here. Hang on. All right, so what else are we going to do? Where the heck are you guys? Let me get back to my chat here. Close down some of these windows. That would be good, right? Yeah, sure. Where's my... Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. All right. Too many tabs open. What else is new? Nothing. That's how I live. Too many tabs open. Tabs, right? Tabs. Why is that? My computer's not being nice right now. Why is that doing that? All right, let me get our thingy up there. Okay, let me get this. Get where you guys are now. I'm going to get the chat up here. All right, Carolyn, what is the name of the first couple, you spoke of? I want to look it up. Okay, well, you have to give me, tell me what you're talking about. Are you talking about the one in California, Scooter? Or are you talking about the one with Gail and George Fulton? Which one are you talking about? Hi, Chrissy. He has to do it because my husband cannot do it. Which one, Scooter? Talk to me. Please talk to me. I missed White Angel coming in. I missed White Angel coming in. All right. And let's see if Scooter's answered me. Scooter, where are you, Scooter? Where is Scooter? Oh, the Iran, is that the one she wants to know? Oh, the rich couple. Hold on, I'll go get the name for you. I'll spell it for you and everything. How come you want to look them up? What intrigued Scooter about that? I wonder what intrigued Scooter. She thinks she knows them? I don't know. Was it intriguing, Scooter? Let me go get them for you, okay? Hang on. Hang on. See where it is. Hang on. Okay, hang on a moment. Okay. Hang on a minute. You know what I did the other night, Scooter? I fell asleep to like a Dateline, and I was like hearing it, and I didn't realize you can't go back, and it's not the same. And I was listening to this whole thing like in my sleep, and then I wanted to find out about it, and I couldn't. Isn't that unbelievable? Yeah. Yep. Very good. All right. Her name, are you ready, Scooter? Is Aryan. 58 years old. Aryan is her first name. Papoli. Papoli. Aryan Papoli. And her husband's name, I'll tell you what his name is. Gordon. Good. Like good. What's his last name? Arzi. Good. A-R-Z-I. Goodarzi. Gordon Goodarzi. And I hope you're listening, Scooter. And you're not going to be like, wait, I didn't get that. Can you go back and get it for me again? No. You'll have to rewind. they will be back tomorrow. Who's going to be back tomorrow? Who's coming back tomorrow? Who's coming back tomorrow? Who's coming back tomorrow? Bet your bottom dollar. Who's coming back tomorrow, Jen? Jen! Who's coming back tomorrow? Trying to get something for Scooter here. She doesn't listen to me. I know she's not going to listen to me, so I'm going to send her something because she's not going to listen. I know it. She'll be like, what? I don't know. I didn't get their name. Yep. That's what I figure. That's what I figure. Alrighty. Where the heck are ya? Where the heck are ya? Lost you again. Okay. Where the heck is Scooter? Did she get the spelling? She's eating. Did she just say she's eating again? Oh, come on, Scooter. I knew she was going to do that, Bucky. Well, you can find it with her name. If you put in her name, you'll get his name. My goodness, isn't that crazy, Bucky? What did Scooter say she's doing? Tell me, Scooter, why you're interested in that story, because most things don't interest you. Why did that interest you? I want to know why. I want to know why that interested Scooter. Tell me, Scooter, why that was of interest to you. You have to. Because I went back and got you the name and everything. You've got to tell me why that was interesting to you. So much so that you'd like to do more research on it. I need to know. Come on, Scooter, I need to know, please. Tell me. She won't listen to me. I know she always does that. She's always doing that to me. Why is this not working? Stop. I think my internet is being crazy. Just thought it was interesting. Really? Because you don't normally, like, there had to be something in there that you identified with or something. I don't know, that struck you because, I don't know, it doesn't really usually, I don't know, usually, it's not feasible. You don't usually say that. So I don't know. But you're just saying it was just interesting, that's all it was? Why am I in top chat and not in live chat? No wonder, I'm probably missing everything. You said pictures are deceiving for that ship. That ship looked way, way, way too small. You didn't have internet for 2 hours last night? I think because you said she was Iranian and I said her name sounded Italian. Oh, you think that's why she's looking at it? Yeah, I think there's something else up with it, but, you know, she's not going to tell us. She won't tell us, that's for sure. Alrighty. Let me do the word game because it's been a long, hard day. It's almost 3 in the morning, guys. Almost 3 in the freaking morning. What did I eat for dinner? Oh, yeah, we had a really nice dinner tonight. We had a really nice dinner tonight. We had pork loin, green beans, macaroni and cheese. Okay. Oven race starts. Come on, stop. I'm not doing oven race. Is it? No, how bad is it? Yeah, that's what I thought. That's what I thought. This one's pretty easy, huh? Good night, Chrissy. Oh, I mean, good night, Jen. Who's going to bed? Good night, Jen. Good night, night. Good night. No, I can't. I spoke too fast. You're watching my cooking videos? Which cooking videos are you watching? Which ones? What cooking videos are you watching? I have to make more cooking videos, right? I do. I do. What am I going to do here? I have a cookie video to put up too. It's on my glasses, I think. What is this last one? I spoke too quickly. Where's Hart? Where's Murder of Crows? We need somebody here. Stat, please. Stat. We need someone stat. Oh, my cookies? Okay. So I do have cooking videos. I think that, like, there's cooking videos too. Should see a real early one where Jimmy and I make a pot roast or something in the oh my gosh, that Moroccan cookware that has that lid. It kind of looks. Why is the name escaping me? A tagine. And it was really early on, Pet Nanny Nancy, and this one lady comments and she goes, "That man should stay out and let that lady cook by herself," or something like that. Something against Jimmy. Oh my goodness. So oh, it's an S. So it's an S. It's an S. Wait a minute. Why am I get? Oh my gosh, what is wrong with me? I must be extremely tired. Oh, my ice cream cakes? I must be extremely tired, Bucky. What the hell? Okay. Oh my gosh. Anyway, it was lovely hanging with you all tonight. And I hope you have a lovely day tomorrow and stay warm and safe and dry. Hi, Slamsies. You're back again. You lurked this whole time with your sunglasses on, Slam? You're lurking? You're being a lurker? Yep, you've just been lurking. I see you. I see you. And I
see you.
I told you what oh my gosh, I can't handle it. Anyway, I have to go to bed. I have a big day tomorrow. So anyway, I will see you guys tomorrow. Have a good one. Be good. Stay safe. Don't go out if you don't have to. Stay off the roads. Be kind. And we'll see you tomorrow. Let's see. How do I get us out of here, Jane? How do we stop this crazy thing? Let's see. How do we stop this crazy thing, Jane? Oh, here we are. Here we are. Hang on. My goodness, you guys. Where's my stop the chat? Stop the chat. Remember that with that IKEA? But she didn't say stop the chat. Start the car. I don't even see commercials anymore because I don't watch TV. So I don't even know if they're still on. What one did I ask somebody about the other day? Oh, the can sale at ShopRite. But only those of you that are in New Jersey or something would know about the can sale. Because Jimmy's like, the can sale is on. And I'm like, oh, do they still have the song? And he's like, what are you talking about? I'm like, the can song. Don't you remember it? And he didn't remember it because I'm not sure if where he grew up they had a New Jersey. They had a New Jersey. Oh my gosh. That they had a ShopRite, but the ShopRite song was, who remembers that they used to have those little dancers. They were kind of like Rockettes, but they had like big ruffly dresses on, and they used to have commercials. And you know the Pathmark guy that used to do, those of you that also lived in New Jersey and might remember Pathmark, the guy that did those commercials, he kind of looks like Dick Harpoodlin, but he was also in something else, and it was always like, for those of us that were in New Jersey, we knew about that. But yeah, I don't know. I can't think of what it was. So weird. But yeah. But the can sale. See, I got totally sidetracked. It was the can selling lots of brands, everything in cans. Remember that one? You had to have a ShopRite by you. You had to have a ShopRite. If you had a ShopRite, you knew what I'm talking about. If you don't, then you don't have any idea. Okay, now let me get back to where I can get us out of here. But I don't know where I was. I'm delirious right now a little bit. Okay. Where is the live? Where is the live? Come on. Come on, work, mouse. Please work. Okay, there you go.